So, we're gonna do a manga introduction to one of my favorite all-time mangas. It's called Teenage Mercenary or Mercenary Enrollment. It's by YC and Rakion. So right now you can read it on webtoons.com and it's an action comic. I'm just gonna be giving you guys the first part and why this first arc is definitely one of my favorite manga arcs of all time. It's got everything. It's got family bonding, mystery, revenge, and great action. First time I read it, I nearly cried. So for the story, it starts off in a Korean high school setting. A girl named Dae-young believed her brother died during a plane crash 10 years ago, but it turns out he's still alive. She and her grandfather meet him at the airport. And back to school, Dae-young is being bullied and her brother Yoo Ijin has just enrolled into the school. Yoo Ijin meets Youngchang Park, his seatmate, and the bullies in his class, Jae Hyung Lee and Hyuk Jin Ju. While sitting peacefully, he reminisces about his chaotic past in the battlefield. After school, he waits for his sister to walk her home. On the way, they meet some of Dae-young's bullies and right away, they get angry because Ijin is staring them down. He covers Dae-young's head so she can't see it and breaks his promise to Major Kang, his old military friend, to avoid fights during his time here. After beating up the bullies, he returns home and eats a home-cooked meal from his grandpa. Doing so helps him think about family and while sleeping, has a dream about the time he was on a plane with his parents. Meanwhile, Huijin, the bully, and his sister's class finds out about the incident yesterday and goes to Dae-young to bring her outside to continue bullying her. She warns Dae-young that the bully should have gone to Ijin by now. And not surprisingly, in Ijin's class, a bunch of bullies start walking in. Dae-young runs towards her brother's classroom where Ijin sees her injured. One of them is Huijin's brother Gisu Kim, who calls Ijin to come over, and Ijin and Gisu start fighting. After Yoo Ijin beats the shit out of them, of course Huijin won't take this lying down and plots her revenge. Her brother Gisu wants no part of it now. Good peaceful days pass as the siblings go shopping and Ijin gets a new phone from Gramps. Life is good. Then, as Daeon is going to school one day, she gets hit and taken into a karaoke bar, also known as Norebang, to get bullied. The funny comedy was the staff member asking why they are screaming so much in there. Meanwhile, at school, Ijin waits for his sister, but she is nowhere to be found. Ijin goes home to find she is at home locked up in her room. He notices the blood on her shoes and she tells him she fell down the stairs. Flashback to the past when she reported the bullying before, but they sided with Huijin since she has parents. In the present, Ijin patches her up with all smiles, but on the inside, he knows what happened. Meanwhile, at the club, Gisu plots their revenge against Ijin and plan to jump him tomorrow. Ijin then walks in to send these guys to their doom. He warns Gisu this is his final warning and that if even a scratch happens to his sister, he won't hold back. He meets Huijin outside walking towards the club and she falls back scared and damages her arm. She walks in to see what happened inside the club. At night, Grandpa and Ijin talk. Grandpa talks about how difficult it was to raise a young girl and that Daeon was the only thing that kept him going after he lost his kids to the airplane accident. Later in the day at the hospital, the parents of Huijin and Gisu find out what happened through Huijin telling them, or snitching. They employed a Mr. Cha who apparently handles all the dirty work for this family. Late at night, two gangsters knock on the door of Ijin's residence and his grandpa definitely thinks it's shady and doesn't want Ijin to go outside with these suspicious people. However, as they bring him out for a beating, Ijin turns the tables on them and ends up fighting Mr. Cha, who cannot believe that this is a high schooler fighting. Mr. Cha gets beat and ends up calling the parents of Gisu and tells them that they messed with the wrong person. Outside, they see their security guards fall, and with it, Mr. Cha ends with, "I think he's more than some average teenager, sir." While inside, Ijin confronts the parents who state, basically, "Who am I?" And Ijin coldly replies that your husband is a second-term assembly member running for office. Of course, they're not scared, they have power. But the lady then states she'll just call the police, and Huijin just states game over with a smile. But Ijin pulls out all the footage of his sister being bullied, and we see that Ijin sneaks into their house and took the files since the kids seem like they enjoy keeping footage of their bullying conquests. Ijin then gives them an offer of what he wants. He would like his sister to never see Gisu or Huijin Kim again. The councilman agrees to this offer, but states to Ijin to give the originals of the videos that he had found. Ijin looks at him and tells him he must think he is a fool. He then comes home unscathed to see his grandpa and sister waiting in what seemed like nearly hours of negotiating and fighting for some reason. So of course he comes back looking clean and tells his sister to not worry about the stairs anymore because he got rid of them all. Huijin manages to sneak out and meet her friends at the karaoke shop the next morning, where they discuss why there's a rumor going around the school that Huijin and her brother are going overseas. Huijin, however, doesn't tell them that it was Ijin's fault, but suggests to beat up Daeyoung one last time. Ijin then appears disguised similar to the way that they did to Daeyoung and closes the door to deliver punishment to them. At the hospital on TV, news coverage shows the bullying scenes from the Kim children and that Inbae Kim, the dad, has evidence of election fraud, bribery, and money laundering. Cut to Mr. Cha at the end asking why Ijin did that when he had cut a deal with the councilman. He stated, "I'm petty."